Battle for Azeroth release schedule, Shadowlands release schedule, Dragonflight release schedule. Time frame gradually becomes smaller if alpha doesn't start within 9 days. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I actually think that there's a chance that Blizzard is ready to just big dick this expansion. I think there's a chance. And if they're not, they are going to kill the fucking game. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. The Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming out. They brought this out. They are going to be buffing Naxxramas. So for anybody who played Wrath back in the day, you would know this. Naxxramas in Wrath of the Lich King was a fucking joke. It was a joke the first week of the expansion, and it's still a joke. So I'm going to read what they said. One change we've decided to make is to make health and damage of the monsters in Nax. Our 2008 design intention was for it to be a little bit easier than in 2006 original, but we missed the mark and it ended up much easier than we intended. Bringing the difficulty up will make it more fun and interesting challenge while we are awaiting the opening of Ulduar. I think this is a good decision for them to make. I think that they should buff it, and in my opinion, they said right here, they released an update, and they said hashtag some changes. While World of Warcraft Classic first launched, it followed the very strict design pillar, hashtag no changes. At Blizzard, we faithfully recreated WoW as it existed, with as few changes as possible while making it able to run in the modern game environment in 2019. But World of Warcraft didn't stop in 2006. It continued to evolve and change over the years. So we released the Burning Crusade 2021 and plans are underway. However, as we re-release these expansions, we find the design pillar, hashtag no changes, isn't sufficient anymore. With World of Warcraft's expansions came design changes to the game. Some of those changes were not consistent with the way classic World of Warcraft felt. It's undeniable that the latest 2021 modern expansion, Shadowlands, feels very different than the original launching game in 2004. Where should the evolution of the game shop if we want to retain that classic feel, even while releasing new content? Stop, sorry. Where should the evolution of the game stop? Many players, sorry, I was thinking about Diablo Immortal too much. Many players today choose to play Classic WoW because they love the feel and they don't want it to be lost. The Classic World of Warcraft team has given us a lot of thought, and we'd like to share with you some things that they're thinking about, right? So this is like their philosophy about WoW and Wrath of the Lich King. Nurture and protect social experiences. The first and most important design pillar is nurture and protect social experiences. The compelling social experiences within World of Warcraft are why so many of us fell in love with the game. To retain these experiences, we want to help players build friendships and deepen their relationships within parties, raid teams, guilds, and server communities. Online social experiences are a complex phenomenon and can be very easily damaged. Positive relationships build community, reduce toxicity, and forge friendships that have kept players coming back to our game for many years. We need to nurture and protect those relationships. One very big key to this is providing social proximity in our game, or what some cognitive scientists call repeat surreptitious interactions. So you go and you see other people out in the world. Okay, that's nice. Put it a little more simply, you need to have multiple interactions over the time with the same people in a way that it feels happy or beneficial. Yeah, sure. Like you're killing mobs, some other guy's killing mobs, you group up with them, and you kill mobs together, and then 3 zones later, a week after that, you see him again, and you do the same thing, and then maybe a month after that, you join his guild, right? That's the kind of, that's the core WoW, experience. I think that's a good thing. And let's see here. Classic WoW provided this in abundance, where you would often meet the same people from day to day while running through the Stranglethorn jungle, or on your way to a Scarlet Monastery run, or heading into Blackrock Mountain for a raid. Yes, I did meet the same people. The problem is that they were on the other faction. We roll out the new expansions for WoW Classic. The pillar protecting the social proximity helps inform our decisions about features like dungeons, raids, questing, etc. When we make changes to Wrath of the Lich King Classic, we will make changes to help maintain social proximity, and in doing so, nurture and protect social experiences. That's great. I think that's a great thing, and I'm happy about that. Everything that you're saying here, that's why layers exist. Well, you have to, you can't have too many people in the same area or it's going to be laggy, right? That's just, it is what it is. So yeah, it's good. Approachable and familiar. Another important design value for us is approachable and familiar. We want you to feel like you're coming home to a place you know well. Classic's combat pacing is more deliberate. Class designs are more familiar, with fewer changes from patch to patch. Classic often tells simpler stories about a particular place and time. We love to see players with intrinsic motivations founded on exploration, experimentation, and wonder. In addition to pursuing more powerful items and epic storylines, Classic WoW provides players with a sense of agency over their character's destiny, telling their own player story and about how they explored and interacted with the world. I think that's true. I think that's one of the best things about WoW is that, you know, at least like old WoW, is that like you were able to tell your own character story rather than basically Blizzard telling it to you. I think this is an absolutely positive and good thing. This pillar works to limit the changes that we make, as familiarity can easily be damaged, but it also encourages us to make changes when an excessively complex system can be reworked into something more elegant and easier to understand. A good example of this is the emblem system in Wrath, which became needlessly complex by confusing by the time that we defeated Arthas. I don't really think that it was, but okay. We're planning for each raid tier of emblems to work the same, with one emblem dropped by the latest raids in order to purchase gear equivalent to the raids, plus a second emblem dropped by dungeons and older raids that are used to purchase less powerful items. Okay, so there's going to be less emblems. Okay, that's fine, sure. The world is the main character. Okay, they're just basically talking about the game. I mean, that's just not really a whole lot going on here. Yeah, I think that's good. Sure, Wrath of the Lich King itemization changes. Okay, so let's see what this is. This is the itemization changes that they're going to be doing in the game. This is what matters. Let me see here. Take a look at itemization expansion. We have some changes that we think will improve the experience. Here we go. The first goal is about nurturing our WoW communities. We know that players in Burning Crusade Classic have experienced a great environment and raiding. Players are active in multiple raids in all 4 raid tiers, participating in both 10 and 25-man raids, raiding with their alts and in pickup groups in all tiers. We want to make sure this continues in Wrath of the Lich King. To further this, we've been exploring a lot of ideas that we've decided not to implement at this time, such as 10 and 25 player dropping the same items, heroic dungeons getting improved drops, or increasing the starting difficulty of heroic dungeons. One change we have decided to make is to increase the health and damage of monsters in Naxxramas. This is what we just saw. And so we already saw pretty much all the rest of that. I'm not going to read it all again. Buffing Nax. That's good. Sure. You can buff Nax. The problem is, like, the health and damage isn't why the monsters are easy. They're easy because the mechanics are a joke. It's a joke raid because the mechanics are easy. Same items is a terrible idea. Well, they didn't do it. The second goal is about making sure heroic dungeons stay attractive throughout the entire expansion. The emblems and items they drop should always be valuable, even in the late expansion. They should also remain an interesting challenge throughout the entire expansion, rather than becoming excessively easy as your gear improves. We are exploring plans to add challenges to heroic dungeons as the expansion proceeds, which would provide more valuable rewards. Wow. Okay. Okay, sure. Let's try it out. That's fine. They're finally starting to give a fuck. Yes. I'm amazed. We want to preserve... what's this here? Yeah. We want to preserve the nostalgic itemization. No matter what changes we make, we will ensure that all Wrath of the Lich King raid and dungeon items can still be acquired, as well as their unique art. Okay, that makes sense. Finally, the itemization and raid lock systems for Wrath of the Lich King evolved several times during the expansion. Rather than changing per phase, we want to make it more consistent. That means that emblems should drop and work the same way in every tier. Set pieces should be acquired the same way in every tier. And ideally, raid lockouts should function the same way in every tier. To support this, both 10 and 25-man raids will drop emblems of valor at launch, while dungeons will drop emblems of heroism, matching the design pattern of emblems that was used in Trial of the Crusader and Icecrown Citadel. We hope that this is a glimpse of some of the progress of in-game itemization and helps you better understand how we plan to adhere to these pillars as we move forward. Each time we consider a change to Wrath of the Lich King experience, we will keep these pillars in mind. Nurture and protect social experiences, approachable and familiar, and the world is the main character. If the change doesn't serve them, then we won't make it. But if the change can strengthen those pillars, we will carefully consider it. As always, our goal is to deliver the best possible World of Warcraft Classic experience to you, our dedicated players. I'm going to be honest. I don't see any else. I don't. I see no else. This seems great. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Like, yeah, this is actually good. Like, this is an improvement. Now, is this going to dramatically change Wrath of the Lich King? No, it's not. I don't think that's what the goal should be in general, right? The goal should be, in my mind, to recreate the experience as much as possible that people had back then. That's what Classic is there for. That's the goal of it. If you want to talk about making the game different and improving it, let's talk about Season of Mastery. Overall, I think this is good. Yeah, I'm actually really glad that Blizzard is doing this, and they're adding things into the game and making it a little bit better, right? Do we get dual spec and Wrath? I think so. Frostradamus said this is a joke. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that might not like it, but I'm not really going to take somebody's opinion seriously who's been playing vanilla WoW for the past 8 years. Like, I'm not going to take that very seriously. Like, of course somebody like that's not going to like the game changing because they played the same game forever. In my opinion, I'd like to see some changes made to the game to make the experience better for players. Absolutely. And how about a 2004 beta tester? Yeah, sure. This is an L for alts. I really don't think so, because here's why I don't think so. I think that players now are going to simply do more damage and have better output. Like, whenever I go and I watch people do Brutalis now, and I've watched like many guilds clear Sunwell, etc., right? Of course I have. And whenever I see this, everybody's doing over 2,000 DPS. Back whenever we killed it, 2,000 DPS was like the top of the meter. You got people doing 3,000. People are doing absolutely massive big dick damage. And so, yeah, I think that people now are just going to do more damage. They're going to play better. They're going to do way more damage. Like, that's literally all there is to it. And how are you feeling about Wrath? Will you allow streamer influence to benefit you, like free gold and items? So you're going to treat it like Classic? I'm going to take as much gold and free stuff as I possibly can. I'm going to treat Wrath of the Lich King like I'm coming back to high school to pick up my transcript, the same as I did in Burning Crusade. I'm going to walk into fucking building with my hat on. It's against the rules to wear your hat. But guess what? I fucking graduated, bitch. I don't have to listen to you anymore. I got my sunglasses on. I got my phone out. I'm not a fucking student anymore. I'm just doing what I want to do because I'm a grown-ass fucking man. And that's the way I'm going to treat the goddamn game. I'm going to run in there. I'm going to beat this shit out of Nax. I'm going to reserve all the loot for myself and McConnell. And then we're going to take everything. We're going to complete it. We're going to quit. And we're going to move on to the next game. And you know what? It's going to be a fun as fuck 2 weeks. I'm excited. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be fucking great. Then we're back to Torghast complaining about drop rates on a transmog that I'll never use. Yeah, there we go. And let's see here. Can't fucking wait. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. 2 weeks is actually like kind of an overstatement. I think we'll probably clear Nax again. Maybe 3 weeks. I have no idea. Here's what my opinion on Wrath of the Lich King is, okay? I don't think it was a surprise that Wrath of the Lich King is whenever subs flatlined. Wrath of the Lich King is a great expansion. It's one of the best. However, I don't think it's as good as people remember it. I think Wrath is all right, but I don't think that it's going to retain the amount of players that people might think that it will. And Nax is going to be gated for a week at least. I don't really think so. 100 hours from 70 to 80, that's fine. We'll probably just level up together, same as we did in Burning Crusade, and it'll be fun. That's all there is to it. Ulduar is still best raid ever made. I agree with that. I think Ulduar was fucking amazing. So anyway, there's God tier. I think that Wrath of the Lich King is going to die very fast. I do think so. I think that it will die faster than Burning Crusade because Wrath of the Lich King has a lot of catch-up gear, so people aren't in the gear treadmill as long. And so that's what happens. PvP will keep it alive? I don't really think so. I don't think the PvP in Wrath is going to be super amazing, like this like perfect thing. I think a lot of people don't remember what the PvP was really like, and now with people that are able to like min-max the shit out of it, it's probably not going to be as fulfilling as you might imagine. PvP was top-notch? Yes, I'm sure your recollection of something that happened over 10 years ago is perfect. Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to happen, guys. No, I think it's going to be the same thing as Burning Crusade, where certain comps are dominant, certain classes are dominant, and it just becomes a solved meta where people just gradually grow bored of it. That's what I think is going to happen because that's what happened with Burning Crusade. So yeah. And don't you think subs is more related to the End of Arthas? I think that there's a lot of reasons for it. It's not just one thing in general. There's private servers that have been alive for 8 to 10 years with 1,000+ people on them. I have no doubt that there will always be people that will play Wrath of the Lich King. But I think that its popularity on a larger scale will go down substantially after less than a month. Because people will clear all of the raid content, they will do that a few times, and then they'll stop playing. That's what I think is going to happen. And everybody said, here's what's so funny about this. Everybody said this about Burning Crusade. I said this about Burning Crusade as well. And it happened. It happened. A lot of people lost interest in Burning Crusade. Yes, there are a lot of people that still raid in BC. But it's in no way, shape, or form as popular as Classic WoW. Like, no way. And I think Wrath of the Lich King will be a similar decline. That's about it. Wrath sucks. I hate this game. I don't hate it. I think Wrath is great. I'm excited. But that's about it. What's this here? Meanwhile, Warmane has 22k players. I think Warmane makes up fake numbers. Warmane sells things on the store. The more people that are playing the game, the higher perceived value on things that they're selling on the store is. And I think that they're making up their numbers because it's financially beneficial for them to do so. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, again, people that don't believe that, I think, are naive. Oldest trick in the book? Yeah, I mean, come on. It's common sense. I'm sick of playing old games. I think so. TBC has better retention than vanilla. Well, I think that you're probably right, but that's because vanilla WoW had like a billion people that played it at the beginning, right? I still think that classic leveled out higher than vanilla did. But maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I think. Either way, going back to this, I think that Blizzard is making a lot of good decisions with Wrath of the Lich King. I'm very happy to see these decisions being made. And I hope Blizzard continues to make them. All of this is good. Yeah, all of this is good. It's not good enough. I think it's good. And did you show us in the Razor chair already? Yeah, a little bit of it. I got right over here. There it is. And I put this together a couple of nights ago. It actually, like, I was worried. You know what I was really worried about, guys? I was worried that I was going to put the chair together and it was going to fall. I was going to fall apart whenever I was on stream. And I would look so bad because I would like not follow the instructions the right way and the chair would just fucking fall down and it would just fucking, yeah. Basically, no, I have the Bored Ape Nazi Club. Yeah, I'll do that in a bit. There's still time for that? Yeah. But Razor would look bad? Yeah, I was so worried about that happening. But no, it seems like it's actually working and everything's fine. And at this point, it doesn't matter if it's good or not, at least taking risks and doing new stuff. Yeah. I think that this is the way that I look at it. Taking risks is something that is it's something that I missed out on. And I think that Blizzard should take more risks. Even if they're bad risks. I think they should do it. I was glad that they tried to do what they did with Covenants. It didn't work out. They should have listened to the community faster. But I think that they should have listened. I think that they should have done it. It's good to try. Because if you don't try, you'll never know. Blizzard took so many risks in Legion. Some of them were incredible. Things like Suramar. Phenomenal. The legendaries. Acquisition method, awful. But I want to see more risks taken. Where's Berserk Cloth? Oh, the thing is, I just have it over here. I mean, I don't really need to have it on there. It's fine, didn't use instructions. No, I did actually use the instructions. I followed the instructions all the way. And yeah, you should transfer before they lock Benediction. I probably will do that soon. What happened to your old chair? I took it downstairs. There are some people like, guys, can we not have these fucking sages in chat for the old chair? The old chair sucked. Guys, the old chair sucked. Like, it was not even that good. Like, you sat down on it, and there was no padding at the bottom of it. It was like you're sitting on metal. And then on top of that, the padding in the back pushed my head forward so much that I had to fucking take a knife and pull the padding out. It was awful. Yeah, it looked comfy, though? Yeah. It looked comfy. Sure. I was using an abused chair. Yeah, it's still downstairs. I just, I'm not using it. It served its purpose. Yeah, it was about it. And show the funeral. Chair was the whole stream. Yeah, sure. But yeah, that's why I didn't really like the chair in general. What's this here? And what are your thoughts on how RuneScape puts out player voting? I think maybe they could do that soon, but I would not always put things up to a vote because sometimes players don't know what they want. So it depends on what it is. And have I read the 2 new Berserk chapters? No, I have not. give it away to the viewers? No, I'm not doing anything with the chair. It's staying in my house, okay? In case I ever need it again, right? If I want to have it downstairs or something like that, it's okay. And that's it. Harder content reduces player interaction. I think it's a little bit of both.